experience. We're just here to talk a bit about why we do what we do and what the products are, a bit about the company, and then sharing some amazing stories. So I'm going to give you a bit of an overview on what the company and the business and the product's all about. So it's basically a 45-year-old company. Juice Plus as a product has been around for 23 years of that. The formula hasn't changed. It's fruits, veggies and berries in a capsule. It's vegan, it's whole food, it's vine ripened. It's got actually 55 clinical studies done on it, as I heard at conference last week from the man himself, Mark Ledoux, but only 35 of those are officially published in medical journals. So we've got about 9 more on the way. So there's no other product on this planet that has the amount of research in a nutraceutical product than Juice Plus. So you can hold your head high that you're in good company, where they've done studies from Harvard and University of Sydney and Oxford and all around the world. So it's an amazing product. That may be why some of you on the call, if you're brand new to it, may not have heard of it before, because they put their money into the research and not into marketing. And that's where we come in and we just tell our stories. So our whole job is just to share what we love about the product and the business. So like I said, it's just fruits, veggies and berries in a capsule. So we have, for our products, we have grow that have been around for 23 years. So that's the fruits and the veggies. So together they represent 17 different fruits and veggies and a couple of brands. They come as a set, and that's what a lot of the research has been done on. They're now also doing some on the berries as well, but this is what majority of the research is done on. So the founder of the Juice Plus formula, Dr. Smokey Santillo, he is a naturopathic doctor, and he muddled around with so many different combinations of the fruits and the veggies to get his father, who had a rare form of lymphoma, to get him better. He had a 4-week diagnosis, turned out to live for 6 years after he got Juice Plus as a powdered fruit and vegetable into him. So excuse my kids in the background, it is school holidays, so they are up a little bit later. So yeah, that's what the research is done on. There's been so many millions of stories around the world on how this product has helped people. And then about 10 years ago, they brought in the berry blend as well. So these now come as a set, as our premium trio. So you can buy the fruit and the veg on their own, or the berries on their own, or all together. So the berries, again, have now had more research. They're really good for antioxidant, cardiovascular, blood health, vasal, skin, all that sort of stuff where you think of dark purple in the body, what represents that. So it's blood, heart, circulation, skin. So that's an amazing thing as well. The other thing that we have is our soft chews, and they're a vegetable and a fruit soft chew as well. Now, they were originally formulated for the kids, but I know lots of adults that like them as well, so they do come in an adult serve too. So if you buy the fruit and veg capsules or the soft chews as an adult, you get the chance to sponsor a child and they can get their product for free. Now, I don't know of any other company in the world that does that, and they do that for up to 4 years, as long as that adult stays on that product. And they're doing that to raise awareness on kids' health. In Australia, we're governed by the TGA, the Therapeutic Goods Association, and that's one of the strictest governing bodies in the world. They actually fly them over to the States and get the product certified over there. And the soft chews are the first TGA-listed children's health product in Australia. So that's a pretty credible thing to have to their name. All the products are natural, they're vegan, they're not made with gelatin. The capsules are even vegan, made from tapioca starch, and the soft chews are formulated from tapioca as well. So there's no nasties in them. You get the good stuff into you. And what I love about this company is that there is only 3 products. The other one that we have is our complete powder, comes in Dutch chocolate and French vanilla. Again, this is all plant-based. So if you're having your fruit, veggie, berry blend and your complete smoothie, you're getting over 50 varieties of plants into your daily routine. And I don't know anyone that doesn't feel better getting more plants into their diet. So with the complete, it's vegan as well. So there's no whey protein in it. It's from soy, pea, chickpea, pea and rice protein. Some people have an aversion to soy, but the soy in this is non-GMO. It's low processed, it's water washed, it's using the whole soybean to get the protein out of, and it's not just the isolated part of the innard of the soybean. So you're getting the whole soybean that the protein's extracted from. So that's a very different soy protein than you see in a lot of other products. They've also recently added some mushroom powder in there, which gives us our D3. They have sprouted grains, yucca, pomegranate, chickpea, broccoli sprout, alfalfa sprout. So it's just an amazing blend. The best thing about it is that it tastes so amazing. I haven't found a protein powder that has ever tasted this good. They also call it complete because it's not just a protein powder. So we know in our diet that you may have heard or may not that we need to eat our meals in a certain balance of protein, fats and carbs. So this gives us that combination in the form that we need. So it's 30% plant-based protein, 60% plant-based carbohydrates and 10% fat. So that makes up the 100% of the ingredients. So when you're looking at, when you're plating up, if you can always have a meal that's got that 30-60-10 ratio, then that's a good meal. So if you're not getting that into your day, if you're skipping breakfast, or if you know you should eat 5 or 6 smaller meals a day, you can chuck in a complete smoothie on its own or build it into a whole smoothie with other ingredients as well, and know that you're getting an awesome quality product. So that's just a little bit about our product, a little bit of a background about our company. Just to touch on what the company is as well, I'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm just going to chuck it over to a couple of people and share their product stories. So I'm going to get Beck McCallum, if you're still, yes you are, I can see your name there. So I'm going to get to you to share your product story with us now, Beck, and then we'll hand over to someone else. So take it away if you're ready. Hopefully you're not drinking or eating and I've caught you unawares.
Hello everybody, how are you? Thanks very much, Dee. So I think that the story I'm going to share tonight, I have many, but the one I really want to share tonight is about my little boy who had, I'm going to have to learn the name of this. What was it called again? Molluscus contagiosum. It sounds made up, but it's not. Basically, he woke up one day and he had all these spots down his inner groin, and they sort of almost looked like chicken pox. They had little blisters on them. And I took him to the doctors, and the doctor said, oh, I tell you what that is. And he said, there's no cure for it. It's a virus. It's based on immunity. He said the spots, unfortunately, although they're contagious, they'll last between 1 to 4 years. We were like, oh, careful. But, you know, they were down in his groin area, so they weren't very obvious. And then they started spreading. One day he got up, they were literally all over his back. He just had these tiny little spots that looked like they were about to come into it. And then he started to get the little blisters all on his arms and down the backs of his legs. And obviously for self-confidence, you know, a little 7-year-old at school, they were now really, really noticeable. So I went back to the doctors, and the doctor's like, there is literally nothing we can do but get a scalpel and literally pop every single blister. But we're not going to do that because it's painful and there's no need to do it. So we decided I'm going to put him on and I kid you not, within 2 weeks, pretty much every single spot had gone, except the ones on his inner thigh, which I checked this morning, and literally all that's left are just these tiny little, almost the scars that, you know, when the scars go a little bit purple, and that is literally all that's left. So 1 to 4 years, it's cleared up within completely cleared up within 4 weeks of being on the adult dose of Juice Plus. And now every morning he's like, I need to take my Juice Plus, Mummy, I need to take my Juice Plus. So yeah, I was just amazed. That's all I can say about that. So that's my latest product story with my little boy who's 7.
Oops, sorry, just unmuting myself. Very good. It's just amazing. I've heard that story before and it just gets me every time, you know, like to have a 1 to 4 year diagnosis, to have something clear up in 1 to 4 weeks is just absolutely incredible. So we've got so many different stories that we can share tonight. I'm going to get Sarah to share her product story because that goes in a little bit of a different avenue, but still so important and relative in today's society. So I'm going to get you to take it away, Sarah.
Thanks, Dee. Okay, so I actually came into this more interested in the business side of things. I just was interested in health and nutrition. So I just started attending events and met Candy and met all the other beautiful women in the business and just got along with them really well and just really got what they did in regards to whole food and nutrition and really started to connect with them on that kind of level and get into some really good conversations. So to be honest, even when I started the product, I was still skeptical. I've always just been such a whole foodie. I didn't believe in taking any supplements. I never had taken any supplements. I was skeptical of so many things I'd seen in regards to pre-workout, post-workout, I don't know, this pill, that pill, diets. I was just, nutrition, whole foods. That was what it was all about. But I sort of gave it a go because I thought I sort of got these women, so I thought I'll give it a shot. You know, they know what they're talking about. So I just started on the berries and I kind of didn't particularly notice anything for probably about 6 weeks. But at the 6-week mark, my husband and I, we've been trying for children for like 1.5 years now, and we're having fertility issues. And after about 6 weeks of taking the berries, I actually had, for the first time in my life, a 28-day cycle. So when that happened, I was quite blown away. It freaked me out, and I still wasn't particularly sure that it was the berries. But you know, if I thought about it, it was the only thing that I'd actually changed in my diet in regards to anything in my lifestyle. So I kind of thought maybe, possibly, and then sure enough, another month later I had another 30-day cycle. So it has really regulated my cycle, which means a lot in regards to fertility and ovulation. So that was a big game changer for me. Other than that, there's so many things now I could think of that have changed. I used to never have any nails. Like, they used to break and peel, and they were never had any strength. And they're now actually strong and long and glossy, which is amazing. So it's a nice little reminder to myself every day. So again, that's something that hadn't changed beforehand. And same with my hairdresser says my hair's thicker. I used to have hair extensions. Still wouldn't mind getting some back in, but my hair is definitely thicker. What else? Went overseas, my husband and I, for a month. The entire time I was traveling, he actually got sick 4 times, which was the point at which he said, okay, give me some of those pills. I'll try it. I'll give it a go. But he kept getting sick, and I just wasn't getting sick. I was really healthy, and I was really, obviously really nourished. So he was like, well, what are you doing differently to me? We were still eating, sort of traveling. It's harder to eat well, and I was taking these pills and he wasn't. So he started, and he's now converted, which is great. He gets amazing results with his training. He actually has a bit of a routine down. So he has some in the morning, then he has some at night, because he reckons when he trains really hard, he actually wakes up feeling less sore and more energized the next day. So that's always good to have his kind of assurance, because I really value his opinion. As far as myself, probably the other thing is I've had a lot of family, like my mother-in-law was sick for about 9 months last year, just on and off, flu-y, kept getting viruses, bacteria infections, all sorts of things. So she gave it a shot. Again, took my word for it and just said, okay, I trust you. And she actually hasn't been since sick. So, people have been so sick lately. I've been covering her on sick days, getting over things in a day, and she actually hasn't been sick. So she's probably one of my most favourite customers. She loves it. So yeah, I think I could go on actually, but I'll stop there.
Okay, great. That's awesome. And I think, once we see friends and family getting on the product, we all tend to then start having these little stories coming out of the woodwork. And sometimes they're just really subtle stories, and you don't even know what they're experiencing until you sit down and have a conversation where it's like, oh, my hair's not so grey, or it's a bit thicker, or whatever it is. It just means something different for everyone. And that's what I love about the product, is we never claim to cure any disease, but there's no condition on earth that can't be helped by better nutrition. And it's the part of the body that needs it the most that Juice Plus is going to go to first. So you know, for me with my immune system was where it needed the most help. So the outward signs didn't appear for me until about 6 months down the track. I was pretty toxic with what was going on. So, you know, 5 years in almost, there's endless benefits. So I'm going to just quickly share one more product story, and then we'll talk a little bit about the biz, and then we'll jump off. So I'm going to get Susie to share her story because it's a really good one. So if you're open to that, Miss Susie, we'll hear from you.
I can do that. Hi, everyone. So for me, I've been on the product for 4 years now. The lovely Danira introduced me to it. She knew I was into my health and well-being, and after my second child, I was really, really struggling because I'm a massage therapist by trade, used to fixing things on the outside. I had the knowledge of what I need to do on the inside, but, you know, I had 2 young kids. I just couldn't be stuffed. I was looking after them, and, you know, I was the one that was sneaking the biscuits or not having lunch, or, you know, and I was at the point where I was well overweight, and also my energy was that bad in the afternoons that I literally had to go and have a sleep. I was lucky at the time I was living with my parents, and there was one there where I could just, because I literally could not keep my eyes open. And so, yeah, one of the first things, as Dee said, it, you know, goes where your body needs it most. And it was a lot of subtle things for me in the beginning. Just losing that afternoon slump was just massive for me, because the slump was that bad. It was a struggle to get up out of the armchair. Then I had the energy to actually go and start doing more exercise as well. So it was sort of a process, I guess, of getting myself back after being a zombie mum and feeling like I'd just completely lost myself. And that's one thing also, not just the products given me back, but the business as well was a massive connection as me being a mum, feeling like I'd lost my complete social life and community, to have that again, as Sarah said, connecting with amazing people that are always there lifting me up. So that's been my journey with my husband. He was the one we always used to call Mr. Meat and Potatoes. He's like, why would you eat that rabbit food, that sort of person? And his theory was that you go through drive-through because you know what you're getting, you know what it tastes like, and you know the cost. And nowadays, like, it's a very, very rare occasion. I had a fall off my chair moment a couple of years back when he normally on his on-call shifts would get drive-through, and he said, have you got something like a salad wrap or something for me at home? And I was like, what? You're not getting your usual drive-through? And he said, no, I like the way it tastes, but I hate the way it makes me feel. And so that was massive to see that palate shift, capsules for him, and now to see him sit down and eat beautiful big salads. Of course, it still has to have the meat with it, but but he'll actually have a second helping of the salad as well. And one of the things where I know this journey just keeps getting better and better with my health, and I'm feeling better now than I did in my 30s, and I'm coming up to 42 this year. I'm going to have my second 21st, but we had a failed vasectomy. I've now got a 17-month-old, 4 years after my husband had the vasectomy. So massive shock. I was planning a big fancy dress for my 40th, not to be 30 weeks pregnant. At the time, it took me about 3 or 4 months to wrap my head around the fact that we were having another child. But I worked out after Archer was born that my biggest fear in those first 3 to 4 months was not actually having the child. It was going back to feeling like I did with the first 2. That scared the absolute crap out of me. And even as Dee will tell you, there's quite a few of them that had a contingency plan for me, because I now live half an hour away from everyone, how they were going to support me, what they were going to do on the weekends to help me out with the kids. And the first 12 months, it just didn't happen. I recovered better from the night shifts. I didn't have those slumps. Within myself, my well-being was just phenomenal. I felt on top of the world. And yeah, so having a baby at 40 for me was better than having the other 2 at 32 and 35. I just coped so much better. And I don't know any mama that can say that unless they're on Juice Plus. But yeah, so that's sort of been my journey over the 4 years, and it's something that we'll never stop taking.
Yay, I just love hearing your story of, you know, you did have that contingency plan, so it's so awesome not to have to use it. You've heard a few product stories now. As part of what we share, there's a business attached to it too. For me, I'm one of the rare ones that jumped in feet first on the same day with product and business, because my lovely friend Fee said, you've just got to do it, and I trusted her, so I knew that she'd weeded out all the good from the bad, and so I jumped in. For me, it was really about finding that sense of community and belonging, and I have found that with everyone here. So we all move at different paces through the business. It's an amazing opportunity to share with mums that don't want to go back to work, or mums that are in their job, their job where they're just over broke and they're looking for something different. But the growth that you go through in this business from the day you start, from the day you maybe end up in a box, you just never stop learning and growing. A bit of noise happening in the background again. So I'm going to get a couple of shares on some business stories as well that are going to look at just showing you what you can actually do and be capable of in this business. I'm going to get the lovely Mel to share her story. She's just achieved an awesome milestone in the business, and it's just so amazing to see where she's come from in such a short time. So Mel, are you there? And take it away, please.
Hello. So, wow, you caught me off guard, didn't you? So I'm just going to share with you a little bit about my, journey so far with Juice Plus. I'm a qualified national marketing director. I've been with the Juice Plus company now for 12 months. Before Juice Plus, I was a working mum, full-time working mum. I had 2 small children under the age of 4 at the time. And life was manic. It was really nuts. My partner worked FIFO, so he was gone for 4 weeks at a time and only home for a week, but 2 of those days of travel. So, that was 5 days with us every 5 weeks. So that was really hard. When this sort of opportunity came into my life, I was that really cool person that said no, because I didn't have time. I already had too much going on. And I literally sat back for 4 months and I watched Jess spending time with her children, owning her life, designing her days, traveling, everything that I couldn't do because I had a douchebag boss. So, this was, it really hit home that, I didn't get to do what I wanted. I dropped my kids off at daycare at 6 o'clock in the morning and I came back at 6:30 at night. And that's what my day looked like. We had basically signed our lives away to create an amazing future for our children, but we actually couldn't live our life because we didn't have any time. We were so caught up in the rat race. So 4 months went by. It got the better of me, watching Jess, sipping lattes and, having the time of her life. And, I just said to her, look, we need to speak a little bit more about this because, I want in. As for the product, it just made sense. A mum of 2 small children, it's almost impossible to get the range of variety into them that you need to. So this was just that way of taking away those mummy guilts, on a bad day when they didn't eat what they should have, or if they'd been to a birthday party or, all of the above, to know that they were getting what they needed. And, as for the business, I just thought, wow, what if I could get out of this job? This would be amazing. I was commuting anywhere from an hour to 3 hours a day. So I came into the business. I had a really strong why. By the time my 2-year-old was 2, she had seen her dad 11 weeks of her life. So I wanted to change that, and I just thought, you know what, Mel, just give it a go and see what happens. I knew a couple of people that struggled with their health. I knew a couple of people that struggled with their wealth, and I knew a couple of people that were really respected my judgment, and I knew would jump on board with me and just give it a go. So I just reached out to those people, and before I knew it, I'd hit the first pinnacle position in the business. So the SDVF position in the first month. So that was really cool. I brought in, my first check was just shy of $1,000. So I was super stoked with that. You know, it definitely wasn't a full-time wage, but I could see that this business was working. I knew that I had a heap more people to speak to. And by this stage, I was starting to see more energy, better sleep, increased water intake, you know, and as a mum of two small children, more energy. I was sold. That was me right there. So the rest was such an added benefit. So, you know, I kept progressing through the business. I got to SC in 3 months. I got to SSC in 8 months. I just took out Q in 12. Like I said, my goal to get my partner home, I had said to him, you need to give me 12 months because this is a business. You know, I need to get it up off the ground. You know, I need to get it moving. I need to get that momentum. So let's talk about it in 12 months' time. His feet landed firmly on the ground 6 months into the business. You know, he's been home now for almost 7 months. And, you know, our goal within the next 18 to 24 months is to retire him completely for life. You know, and he'll be 26 years old. So, you know, what this business has done for us is absolutely bonkers. You know, I never would have thought that, you know, I would be offloading the kids to him now because he's home, and taking off to America for 5 or 6 days, you know, gallivanting around the countryside with the most amazing, inspiring women, you know, who rise by lifting you up, not crushing you down. So, you know, this is what we call life now. You know, being able to design your days and inspire people in a way that you just couldn't do by yourself. You know, it's a team of women and men that, you know, we've all got this same mission, the same passion. And, you know, what I've been able to do for friends and family by showing them this product. You know, I've got a girlfriend of mine who's on her 11th bout of chemo surgery. She has not lost her hair. Her fingernails are growing. She's put weight on. She managed to grow a baby and deliver the baby, you know, and to be a part of that is just so moving. So the ripple effect when you have something like this in your life that you can share is so, so powerful. And that's what gets me out of bed every single day, and knowing that I can change my baby's future, both in their health, as well is super awesome. And, you know, my kids haven't been sick for 13 months. So, well, just about 13 months. So we're super stoked.
Yay, awesome, Mel. I always love hearing your story, and it's such an inspiration to just show how you can move in the business. You can go at lightning speed like Mel has done and just hit the ground running and just go for it, or you can weave it in with what you're already doing with other jobs, other businesses, and it's going to be there and have your back no matter what. And that's what I love about it. And the way that you grow, like Mel said, you know, we raise each other up. There's no tall poppy syndrome, and that's the biggest blessing in this business, is that we're all here linking arms and working together towards that one common goal of helping others be healthier in their back pocket and in their health. So I just want you to take a moment now just to close your eyes and imagine in your life bringing people all around you that could do with better health. So it could be someone who's tired at work that you see with bags under their eyes, or someone that you know is going through heart disease, cancer, stroke, you know, osteoporosis, any of those, you know, big diseases that we know a lot of the time, you know, they strike a lot of us. I know probably all of you could put your hand up and know of someone at least that has or has had cancer. So I want you to bring all those people into the room and just imagine them next to you, and imagine if you could give them this gift of health tied up in a box with a ribbon, and just imagine yourself giving them some better health. Now, there's probably a lot of people all around you in that room. And then I want you to empty the room now, and then bring some people in who you know could do with better wealth. So people that don't want to have that job where they're just over broke, people that maybe looking for a better way, a way out, a stay-at-home mum that may be wanting a bit more in her life to just go and get her hair done. So bringing all those people into the room, just a moment. Sorry about that. Super hypo kids here. So yeah, bringing those people into the room that you know that you could help with a gift of better wealth. So it may only be $200 or $500 or $1,000 a month, but that could mean a big difference to some people, whether they might just be able to have a takeaway meal a week or engage in a cleaner to make their life less manic. So you're imagining these people that you've brought in around you and then let them go. And I want you to think that, you know, maybe you think you might not know anyone to be able to do this business, but you've just had, you know, 2 full rooms of people that are either looking for better health or looking for a little bit better wealth in their life. So I just want you to think about that for now, and then think, who could this business be for? So maybe it's not for you if you're on the call for the first time. Maybe you just need to thank the person that introduced you to the call, and you may have learned something tonight about your health. So that's one thing that you can do. The second thing that you could do would be to give it a go, either the product or have a chat about looking into the business further. If either of those 2 options aren't for you, maybe the third one is to think about somebody that it might be good for, someone else that you can share it with, and then put them in touch with the person that shared this call with you. So, you know, whatever you do, just don't go away and do absolutely nothing, because there's so many people out there that are looking for what we can offer them, and you've got to think of that as that gift that you can give them. So I just love hearing all your stories. We've got so many that we share every week. We're here every week on this same call. So if you know someone that you thought would have loved to have been on the call, share the link with them next week or give them the recording. And I really thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here with us. So have a great night, and thank you.